Hey, hello again. I'm back here with another bullet journal video, and I thought I'd share something that I'm doing in my journal now to hopefully make me a better content creator overall. If you don't already follow me on any other forms of social media, this would be news to you, but the girl got her diploma. I finished grad school back in August, and it finally came in the mail. Definitely feels weird that it took so long to get here. Also, it's larger than my head. I have no idea what to do with this thing. But being done with that and out of school, I realized that I just generally crave learning, and that's my personality type. I had mentioned in previous videos that I wanted to take the time, since I was finishing grad school, and take that extra time to be able to dump it into YouTube and other forms of content creation. Some of those being my Twitch stream. Feel free to join in at twitch.tv/Apocalypse. I play a variety of games, and I also go off on many rants and tangents, and we just talk about anything and everything. So feel free to come by and chill. And the other form of content creation is the podcast that I co-host with DPayne called Pointless Discourse, where that's mainly us ranting about whatever topic we have at hand that week. Links to both of those can be found in the description below. Jumping back to the topic of dumping my energy into content creation, I thought at first that meant just, throwing content at the wall to see what sticks. Doing that for a bit and essentially burning myself out on focusing on YouTube, I realized that that's not my style. Realizing that that isn't really my style and realizing how much I craved being able to learn new things, I decided to try and build the habit of learning something new every day. And those are the type of things I'm tracking in this spread to hopefully help me become a better content creator overall. So let's go ahead and jump in to look at how I'm taking the notes and how I'm applying those week by week. I thought I should have my equipment ready at hand right next to my journal as I started working on this custom spread of mine. So I just have a basic black pen and my Tombow dual brush markers. I got out a variety of colors because for the header of this, in general, it's me taking notes for things that I'm learning related to content creation and self-growth, but I thought instead of just writing notes or things I'm learning at the very top of the page, I decided to go with a quote, which I quickly messed up, but you know what? We all make mistakes, right? This is a quote by Socrates, I believe, and it reads as, "Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel," which to me I really liked because while, yes, I'm taking advice from experienced people within the content creation fields to try and help better myself as a content creator, I'm also looking to learn new things to hopefully help spark that creativity in me again to really get me excited to make new things. And on top of that, the quote is also a reminder to myself that just binging a lot of content all at once with all the tips and tricks and advice isn't necessarily me learning anything. For my learning style, I actually need to sit and apply things and then grow from there. So what you can see me doing here is trying to decorate that quote a little bit so it stands out a little bit better. Also trying to help refocus my camera that I'm using. I'm using a Logitech C920, so if anyone can help me solve this autofocusing issue, I thought with my lighting and adjusting some things, it'd be fine, but it still seems to be acting up. So apologies if it's kind of disorienting to watch. But yeah, so I decided to put education in blue, I think just because I like the color blue. And I also, when I think of cap and gowns, I think of the color blue. I don't know if I'm weird for that. I guess let me know if that is a weird one. And I made flame. I try to make it look like the stock images of a flame where it's yellow in the center, orange on the edges, and then red on the furthest part, but I don't think it translated too well. And then I left the V in vessel empty, kind of like a vessel for it to get filled up. I feel like I'm trying too hard, but it was fun to decorate the title and make it stand out a bit more. So what I'm doing here is I'm decorating the little header icons I decided to use to denote the different areas I'd like to learn more about. So I mentioned that I have a few different areas of content creation where I focus my time. I think the two that I want to focus in on learning more stuff about are YouTube and Twitch. And the third category I did was a basic self-growth area where I can just take some notes and remind myself that I have to work on myself as a person to be a better content creator. So with these three categories, I have a couple notes written in pencil, and I thought I would just highlight one of those in pen. One of those is don't judge your results too early. And in the video I had watched that in, they mentioned that research shows it can take up to 35 videos before your results really start to mean anything towards the way your channel's heading with what you're creating at the time. So just kind of like make those 35 videos and go from there. So what you may not have been able to see from the distance from the camera to the notebook is that I actually put in parentheses a date next to that piece of advice that I had learned from a video. And essentially what I am planning on doing is trying to take things that I'm learning from videos and actually put them into my weekly spread to remind myself that this week I'm going to focus on this. So here you can see me, I'm setting up a weekly spread. It's pretty different from the weekly spreads I've been doing before. I felt like the ones I've been doing before were great for me to just talk about how I feel after making content, which I think is very important. But I wasn't really making space for me to have a really thought through to-do list and kind of like early plans on how I'm gonna tackle the week. So I have like a to-do section, a brain dump section, and then I have the focus section. So I double checked the writing I had in my note-taking area, and for my focus, I put what I want to focus on this week. So I rewrote that, and then I also made a note for myself to ditch statistics. If you watch some of my earlier videos in my weekly spread, I was taking a look at how I was feeling after making content and then looking at my statistics and trying to develop a pattern between them. But I realized I fell in my old bad habit where I was just looking at the statistics and getting caught up on the number itself and letting that dictate how I felt. And since, you know, I shouldn't judge results too early, so I decided to take a step back from that for this week and just focus in on making stuff again. Here I'm going through and I'm trying to continue my theme from my monthly spread. If you look at my previous video with my October plan with me, for my monthly spread I decided to do like blood stains and blood patterns around block lettering, and I thought I would continue that into this weekly spread. I chose to do this freehand again, while albeit pretty messy looking and not as perfectly blood splattery as I would have hoped. It was very therapeutic and relaxing to just kind of free color, not have to worry about coloring in the lines. And here, to help the titles stand out more from the blood stains, since I brought them into the titles and had them overlap, I went ahead and added in some drop shadow to the different letters. This again wasn't perfect. I went with just using kind of like a regular ballpoint pen because I found it more comfortable than the mini marker pen that I had, and it kind of gave off more of a scratchy look and more messy look. At first I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to go over this again, but I decided, you know what? The blood splatters are messy, let's make the letters messy with it too. Yeah, that was just me refocusing again. And then I realized that the page kind of felt empty without me going in and finishing out the actual headers for the days of the week that I had planned, so I thought I would do those for you here in this video as well. So while I finish this out, if you have any favorites when it comes to getting advice for YouTube, Twitch, or self-growth in general, or any advice you like, really, please share in the comments below. Right now, I am a total sponge and I want to absorb all the knowledge and fill out that note spread as much as I can. At first, while I was filling out the background pattern for the days of the week, I was worried that everything was going to look crowded and look too messy. And I was like, you know what? It's my bullet journal. It can look as messy as I want it to. So I figured I'd go big and just have fun with it. But I did have a lot of, I think you can see, pencil of various things I want to get done each day that I just didn't highlight here, because I didn't think, you know, you guys wanted to see that boring stuff. So it gave me good guidelines where I could color in the headers and color in the background pattern and really make the page feel alive without actually getting in the way of the practicality that I was looking to have in this weekly spread. Essentially, I left myself enough space for about 3 major tasks I would like to get done each day, And also, I realized I would like to leave it in pencil because things change day to day. So if anything gets carried over to the next day, it's probably better off that I left them in pencil so I can adjust as things change around in my schedule and my availability. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for my main weekly spread. The last thing I decided to do in here is do the final touches like I did with the rest of the headers, where I add in the drop shadow to really help the days of the week, or just titles in general, really stand out from the blood splatters in the background. And since I made this part of the weekly spread really oriented on tasks and things I want to get done during the week leading up to my various streams and podcasts, what I have planned is on the very next page is the beginning of my daily spreads, where I'll use those to kind of focus in more on, how I feel, where I think I should take my content, and to make sure that I take account for myself to make sure I'm actually applying the focus that I have set for myself that week. So here is a final look at my weekly spread with my focus at the very top, taken from my note-taking page. So yeah, so I hope that helps in some way, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Have a good day.